Hello. I don't have good lighting today. Sorry. Maybe I'll get it. So I got a question of should I? Let me just get this in here. Sorry. Sure. Should I fix up my house or sell as is? Good question, right? It's an issue comes up all the time, right? Your house needs repairs. People think, oh, that's not right. That's better. People think, well, I can fix it up or I can sell as is. So obviously, I'm an investor and I am also a realtor. I'm one of the few people who do both. And so I have the ability very often to speak to sellers and they'll ask me, should I fix up my house or should I sell it as is? And I will tell them honestly what I can pay as is. And I'll tell them what I think they can get on the market if they listed it as is and what the pros and cons are to all of those. Now, fixing up your house, if you can afford to do it, you should do it, but it depends what it is. So I very, very, very often sellers tell me, I'm almost ready to sell it, to list it, but my issue is I need to fix the landscaping. Or my issue is I need to repaint. So let me tell you a couple things. This is a different century, right? We are not in the 20th or 19th century anymore. Almost everybody who's going to buy your house is able to see past minor landscaping issues and minor paint issues. Of course, you always want to put your best foot forward when you list a house. But most people that are going to buy your house are going to paint it anyway. Most people are going to adjust the landscaping. So I have very often spoken to sellers who say to me, I need to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you should not do X, Y, or Z. Right? You can list it as is, and you do not have to spend any money or time on that, and it will not affect your price. Now, how do I know that it won't affect the price? So I have been, full-time buying and selling real estate in Long Island for over 10 years. And I was doing it part-time before that, since 2004, so 9 years before that. So I used to think the same thing. I want my house to be perfect. I can't have anything not perfect. But what I found is when I did leave things unperfect, I sold the house for the same price that I expected. Really, it didn't matter. So there are certain things that are going to affect the price. Okay, then they are in some, probably no real apparent order. If your kitchen sucks, it's going to affect your price. If your bathrooms stink, any of them, well, not any of them, but certainly if the master bathroom or the main bathroom is not good, that'll affect your price. If your flooring is terrible, that'll affect your price. If your walls are bad, open holes, previous leaks, things like that will affect your price. And the reason why those things affect your price is because people look at them, buyers look at them, and they say, this could be a problem. This is going to be expensive, and I don't want to pay top dollar for something that I'm going to have to fix. So now exterior. So if there's any major problem with the sheathing, so the siding or whatever's on the outside of your property, there's a problem. That's an issue. If the mechanicals are not great or don't work, right? If the roof has a leak, big problem. If there's no heat, big problem. If the electrical still has fuses, big problem. But if things are working, right? If the plumbing works and the heat works, most people can see past it and say, well, we'll upgrade that one day. But those are really the things that matter, right? Having a perfect paint job is foolish. I know people who spent, months getting a paint job, and honestly, we sold the property, and the first thing the guy did who bought it told me he was going to do was going to repaint the property. He hated the colors. I hate white. I don't like white. I'm painting it orange and pink. Whatever the hell it is. So don't paint. It's a stupid thing to do. Minor landscaping also not a big issue, right? People think, oh, my mulch isn't in. Don't worry about that. There are people who don't give a crap about that, and there are people who want to do that themselves. So the question is, what if your house is one of the problems we mentioned? What if the kitchen is bad? What if the bathrooms are bad? What if the flooring's bad, the walls are bad, right? So the mechanicals really come first. So the heat has to work. You don't need a new boiler, but the heat has to work. You don't need a new electrical panel, but it can't be so ancient that you're still twisting out fuses. I bet most people don't even know what a fuse is. I'm not talking about circuit breaker switches, I'm talking about fuses. I still see houses with those in there. So if the mechanicals work, and the roof doesn't have to be new either. The roof just has to not have any leaks. You will probably do better if you redo those things, redo the kitchen, redo the bathrooms, redo the floors, and redo the walls. Unfortunately, that's expensive, right? That's some of the things that I do. So you have to decide if it's worth it. So speaking to somebody like me can help you decide if something like that is worth it or not, right? Because I'll tell you, if you read it, I just had someone, I looked at the house was great, but the kitchen was bad. And I told them, listen, you need to change a couple things in this kitchen and we can list this for a lot of money, but you got to take care of the kitchen. I think you can list it for 800 grand. Property in Rockville Center, great house. He did a lot of work to it, just didn't touch the kitchen. Kitchen looks ancient. And I'm like, listen, let's be honest. Most of the time, it's women who are going to buy these properties, and they're going to spend the time in the kitchen. They do not want a crappy old kitchen. So I actually told him not to do everything. He didn't have to do the cabinets. He could paint the cabinets, just do the countertops. There's a few little things he could do for not that much money, but sometimes you really got to do the whole kitchen. I'd go into a lot of kitchens where the kitchen needs complete gutting and renovation. And a kitchen can be expensive, and it's not really, the issue is not really what it costs. The issue is what the buyer thinks it's going to cost. So I've brought people into houses, and I thought they were priced right for the condition of the house, and they've said to me, I need to put $100,000 into this kitchen. I'm thinking, wow, that's an expensive kitchen. But if that's what a kitchen guy told them it's going to cost, you're not going to convince them it's less. Now, for sure, they could do a beautiful kitchen for $40,000 or $50,000, but people will think what they want to think, and it's very hard to change what people think. So it's not an easy question to answer, right? The question is, hey, if I do X, if I spend X, am I going to get more than X back? So I can tell you that for many years, I used to gut renovate every house. And what I realized after many years, it took me 4 years to figure this out, is that I didn't need to gut renovate most houses. Sometimes I would open up the house and they'd end up, the first thing the buyer would do was close up the walls that I had opened. I mean, think about how stupid that is. And I had spent $20,000 putting up posts and putting up a header and getting permits for things that the first thing the buyer did was undo them. So you have to figure, if you're investing X into the house, are you going to get a significant return on your money? If I have a house that I can sell for $500,000 and I have to put $50,000 into a kitchen and I'm only going to sell it for $550,000, that's not a good investment. In fact, that's a horrible investment because I'm putting in money, I'm going to get that out, the same amount. By putting $50,000 in the kitchen, I can sell it for $100,000 more. That's a 2-time return on my investment. But what you've got to understand is anytime you're doing significant work, any of the things we discussed, even flooring, even wall repair, but certainly kitchens and bathrooms, things lead to other things, right? You open up, you take down tiles in a bathroom and you find out all kinds of things you never realized before. Oh, I got to redo all this plumbing I wasn't counting on doing. So you have to be clear as to what the work you're going to do is going to return to you. And I'm a guy who can help you with that. I can tell you straight up, listen, houses with new bathrooms are going for only 40 grand more than your house. So I wouldn't do it. I tell people that all the time. People are shocked. But the truth is the price over the last 12 years, the price that people will pay for a 5 or 6 out of 10 house and the price people will pay for a 9 or a 10 out of house has been narrowing, right? As prices keep going up and people are getting priced out of the market, they are willing to spend a lot of money on a house that's not so great just to get in there and be, and figure they'll fix it as the years go by. I did a property in Floral Park recently, and when I did the analysis, as is, old kitchens, old house, was only like $50,000 more than a completely renovated house. I mean, it sounds nuts, but it was such a high demand in that area that people were willing to pay almost as much for a fully renovated, almost as much as they would pay for a fully renovated house as they would pay for a house that was really old, just livable, right? It has to be mortgageable. And the things I told you before have to be in place. So it has to be, the roof can't have leaks, all the mechanicals have to work, the bathrooms need to work, and the kitchen needs to work. But if it doesn't, then you need to sell the house as is, because if somebody can't get a mortgage on it, you cannot really max out on what you can sell it for. People don't understand that, but they have to be able to get a mortgage on it. But short of that, if it works, you have to really analyze whether putting the money into it is worth it or not. So I am somebody that can help you. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. You can call me in the office at 516-209-2010. I think my contact information is all over the place. And if you need help as a seller in any regard, I do both. I buy properties as is, and I do list properties. Very often I'm giving people 2 numbers. This is the number I'll pay. This is the number you can list it at. It's really your decision. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it.